Good morning and welcome to the live stream. I wanted to start with this statistic. Did you know that 82%, it's like a Wisol consumer survey that said 82% of people are influenced by videos that they watch to purchase something. Now that's just like really awesome to take in and to kind of think about. 82% of consumers are influenced by videos that they watch when they're making purchases. And there's a lot of other studies. I think Google did a study that said, I think it was like 60 or 70%. I'd have to pull that study up. 60 to 70% of people use video to make choices when purchasing something. Like, when they're deciding to buy something, they go and they watch videos before they make the purchase. I personally do it all the time. And do you do it? So drop me a comment right now in the comments. I got to drink some water because I did pick up something last weekend from somebody. But drop me a comment. Let me know, hey, do you use video when you're making a purchase? Because today, what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of do a live workshop on how I research video topics for my clients to create videos so that they help grow their business, right? I'm not looking for viral videos. It would be nice. It would be nice to get 1 million views on a video, but what I'm really looking for is creating content that people will use to help them make a decision to purchase a product or a service, either one, okay? And today I have a client called Cortec Foundation Repair. I'll show you their YouTube channel in a little bit, and I'll walk you through the process that I go through to come up with ideas for videos for them, which has been very successful. They don't get that many views. Again, it's not about how many views you get. It's about how many calls you get. And their leads are coming in. So that maybe their video will get 100 to 200 to 300 views. I think one video got 1,000 views, but then they're consistently getting leads and calls to come into the company and close deals. And that's really important because that's why you want to be on YouTube. Unless, of course, you're a content creator. So this live stream is not for content creators. A content creator, then you definitely want 1 million views per video so that you can actually make enough money to live. Otherwise, you're not going to make enough money to live. Okay, so let me drink some more water. So to get you started, if you're here watching, drop me a line in the chat. Say hello. Where are you from? Where are you coming? Are you in Houston? Are you in Chicago? Are you in Paris? That's always exciting to me because I have traveled the world and I love other cities and other countries. Okay, so let's go over it. There's 3 basic jobs. So every video you make has to have a job. What's the job? It's kind of like when you hire somebody. You hire someone for a job, whether they're the bookkeeper, they're the sales, they're a service technician, they're customer support. They have a specific job. So every video you make needs to have a specific job. Okay. And of course, last week I did the live stream kind of about having a strategy, a business plan. And I do have a workbook that you can download to help you understand, okay, what are the jobs that you need? But there's 3 basic jobs, and I'll go over each job so that you have a really clear idea. Job number 1, your videos need to create awareness, right? That awareness is kind of what attracts people. And I'd like to give you some examples of awareness videos. And in a little bit, I'll kind of pull my worksheet up for Cortec Foundation and I'll show you exactly what those videos look like. The second job a video has is to build trust. That's super important. The more trust you have, the more authority you have, your consumer, your client, whether it's a business or a person, they're going to want to buy from you because they trust you. Nobody wants to buy from someone that they don't trust. I experience that all the time. I'm ready. Sometimes I'll walk away from a deal because I don't trust the people. Even if I've already paid them, I don't want to deal with them. Okay, so job number 3 for your videos is to convert, right? So Job number one is build awareness. Job number two is build trust. And job number three is to convert. So that's like when you're actually helping people make a decision to buy your product, right? So let's go over now. Now I want to give you some examples. So like I'm going to use Cortec Foundation because that's a foundation repair company. It's one of my clients, and we build videos for them with these three jobs in mind. Okay, so job number one, of course, is awareness or attract people. Now, what does that look like? Let's say I made a video called "Doors Sticking." Here's what your house might be telling you, right? So, so that's building awareness, right? Cracks in the brick. What's normal versus what's serious? That's another example. Sloping floors test. Do this 60-second test tonight, right? So these videos build awareness. And of course, foundation repair is not going to get a million views. I mean, it could. One video could go viral. Let's say something extraordinary happened, but that's not gonna happen. Okay. Now, let me give you some examples about building trust. So for Cortec Foundation, of course, these are like more educational, authority building videos. One would be like Houston Soil 101, why foundations move here, especially in Houston, right? The soil in Houston is kind of like we're like in swampland. It's like mud. It's like clay. So that helps the foundation move a lot, right? Another one is another good example of an educational authority building trust is crack patterns explained, what direction, location can mean. So that would be a good example of, and again, these videos are showing the expertise of Cortec, right? So then that's what's helping build the trust. So think about your company, think about the videos that will help you build, like you're an expert in that, whether let's say it's a nail salon. You're an expert in nails. You know all about nails. How are you going to show me that you are the expert so I trust you? A third example is foundation repair options when you need piers versus when drainage is the fix. That's again showing expertise. Like there's pier and beams. Like what's the difference between a pier and a beam? That's showing expertise, right? So that's helping me build trust that you know what you're talking about. A lot of times, like a company will have, let's say, a salesperson that is not an expert, but is an expert in sales, but not an expert in foundation repair. So then the salesperson goes to the house, and then the person asks them a technical question, like, "What's the difference between a pier and a beam?" And the guy doesn't know because he's a salesman. That's going to break the trust, right? So that's just an example. I'm just showing you examples. Okay, let's look at 3 examples from convert videos that convert. So these are important videos because this is going to help the person make a choice to purchase your products or services. Let's see. What happens during a foundation repair inspection, right? That's like a title for a video. And we made that video, and this helps the person, like when they're making a decision and they watch that video, that's going to help convert them. That's going to push them in the direction of Cortec Foundation because we're helping them understand what it's going to look like. Okay, foundation repair costs in Houston, the 5 things that change the price. That's a good conversion video because that means if the person's watching that, then they're already ready to do some foundation repair because they're looking at pricing. So that's a great video for conversion. And another example is your repair plan explained. Scope, timeline, warranty, and what done means, right? So again, that's a conversion video. What is it? We're going to explain what your plan means. And if I'm making a choice who to go with and I see this video, it's going to help me build more trust towards Cortec Foundation and decide, hey, I'm going to go with these guys because they've explained everything to me. I understand everything now. There's nothing like unexplained. Okay, now let's take a look at. So you've got your 3 jobs, right? Remember, job number 1 is attract. Job number 2 is build trust. Job number 3 is convert. But each one of these videos is you're going to have from these videos you have an outcome. What's the outcome that you want? You always have to think about that. Filmmakers do this all the time when they're making a movie. They are trying to decide. They're trying to create the atmosphere for the outcome that they want. Do they want you to be scared in a film? right? That's a horror film. They want you to be scared. The outcome of the film is to make you terrified, right? Do they want you to be happy? Do you want a happy ending? I mean, look at that movie La La Land. I hate that movie. That's like I do not like that movie, but my wife loves that movie. Why do I not like that movie? Because it didn't have a happy ending. It had a terrible ending. It had a sad ending. The outcome of that is they wanted to like show you the reality of life. When I watch a movie, I'm not interested in the reality of life. I just wake up and walk out the door and I get reality. When I go to the movie theater, I want my it's called suspension of belief, right? You're drawn into a world that doesn't exist. And that's what I was looking for. But, anyways, so what's the outcome? What's the outcome of these three jobs, right? So, the outcome of job number one, awareness, is of course to attract people to your business, to make them aware. Hey, the outcome is, oh, I've heard of Cortec Foundation. I've seen their videos. Or, I mean, like Red Bull. Red Bull is a great example they have a great awareness on their videos because they do these stunts, these amazing stunts. It just attracts all the eyeballs in the world. Like when that guy jumped from space and parachuted down, and that was kind of wild. I mean, the guy went into an uncontrolled spin too. That was scary. But those are awareness to attract people. Okay, so the second outcome you want, of course, it's kind of like logical. Trust. You want to build trust. That's authority. You want to build authority. Every time you make one of those videos, you're making a trust video, you're building authority. That's the outcome that you want. I'm gonna get some more water. I just can't, like when I make a video and I drink water, I cut that out. On live streams, you can't. Okay. So you've got the trust. The outcome is to build authority, right? So, oh, I know Cortec Foundation knows what they're talking about, right? I trust them. That's the outcome, the feeling of trust. Now, the conversion job, when you have a job that's a conversion video, you have two outcomes that you can create with videos. The first outcome is lead generation. Like, so you could have like I did it last week. I said, hey guys, I created a workbook that'll help you write a business plan for your YouTube videos. Click the link and download the workbook. So then that helps create, that's like a lead generation tool where then I get your email address and I get your phone number and I can call you up and say, hey, let's schedule a 30-minute strategy session, which by the way, you're welcome to do. Go to my website, Content Guaranteed, and I do have like a calendar up there where you can schedule a 30-minute free strategy session. Well, I'll talk to you personally and we'll go over your personal business and I'll give you some ideas about how you can use YouTube to build your business. So then lead generation, and websites, forms, links, all that stuff, quotes. Uh, then sales, right? The second outcome of the conversion job are sales. Now, and this is a big question that you need to ask yourself, especially if you're in the marketing department, because I notice a lot of times companies are segregating. Like you got your marketing department, then you got your sales department, then you've got your engineering department. Like especially for Cortec, they've got their people that do the work, they've got their people that do the sales, they've got their people that do the marketing, and they're not really connected. So one of the greatest things that you can do is ask your salespeople, hey, are you using my videos to close a sale? That's when you get people to commit. So like, let's say I'm a salesperson and I'm talking to a potential client and then they ask me a question. Well, how much does it cost? And I say, well, that varies. But you know what? We did this great video that kind of explains in detail exactly what the costs are, where the price is affected, and watch that video. And then you send them that video. The salesperson sends them that video to help them close the deal. So that's like a great thing that your salespeople can do. So are they aware of all the videos that are out there? And by the way, which is like a reciprocal relationship, because when I'm trying to figure out what kind of videos to do for a client, the best people to talk to are the salespeople, because the salespeople are like the front line. They're like the people that talk to the potential clients every day. They know what their pain points are. They know what their questions are. And usually that's the best content to make. Like I can go and brainstorm all I want, but if I don't know what the pain points are, I'm guessing, right? But then the salesperson is actually talking to the potential client or customer. They know what the pain points are. So that's the best relationship to develop and trying to figure out how to make content for the YouTube channel. Okay, so I'm going to the chat. Oh, hey, Tomoko's from San Antonio. How's it going, Tomoko? She's in San Antonio today. Oh yeah. Okay, so so then so let's go through like a little bit of a live session of how I create these ideas, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Let me share a screen. Window. See this one right here. We go here. Okay, so I'm sharing with you an Excel sheet that I put together for Cortec Foundation, so you can kind of see we have 100 video ideas. But let me show you their YouTube channel so you can kind of take a look at what we've done with Cortec Foundation. Okay, here, wow, Cortec Foundation video popped up. So let's look at their videos so you can kind of see. So these are all the videos that we've created for Cortec Foundation. And I've built these videos, of course, from this list. I show up to John's place and I'm like, hey, John, here's a list of videos. What do you think is the best video? Because he is the person that does the estimates, which is really wonderful because we're building trust immediately. So we're kind of every video we make is a trust building video. So you can kind of see here. And if you can't see that, let me know in the chat. If there's some kind of error or anything, let me know. Just pop me a little chat message and let me know if you can't see that. But you can see like these are the categories that I put together to help me build this out. But then, of course, from this list, you know, I've got marketing and lifestyle, myths, misconceptions. This just helps me categorize them. But then what I've done here is I've put them into jobs. And you can kind of see awareness, slab versus pier and beam. What's under your house, right? So these are like awareness videos. Then we've got conversion videos. We saved this family $12,000 by doing this first. Okay, that's a great conversion video. Trust building. How long does foundation repair really last? We just did one the other day, which it's like here. Why most foundation warranties are worthless, right? That's a great trust building video. So so you can kind of see how I've categorized them. But let's take a look at how I think this time I'm going to share my entire screen so that I can better navigate this out. Okay, so we've got this entire screen shared. And now what I want to show you is this one right here. And again, you know, let me know if you can't see that. Oh, but then I can't see it because the microphone is in the way. Okay. So this is a great website. It's called Answer the Public. So if you're creating videos and you're not sure, okay, hey, what kind of, you're not connected with your salespeople, because the salespeople know what the questions are that the consumers are asking. Go to Answer the Public. And here I pulled this up. I just put foundation repair in the search. But let's say, I don't know, let's say, you know, I'm content guaranteed. I help companies build video programs for their company to help them build their company. I was like, well, what could I ask? I could ask, okay, we could say content for YouTube to build my business, right? And and then it's gonna pull up all the top ideas. And what it's doing is it's using Google and the trends and the keywords and all that to see what are people searching for. And this kind of tells you what people are searching for. Now this might not work. Maybe that's too long of a description. Maybe no, it did. Okay, cool. So then it gives you the top ideas. Where can I find tutorials on optimizing YouTube videos for business growth, right? That's something that people actually put into Google search. So I can make a video about that. What types of YouTube what type of YouTube videos help grow small businesses effectively, right? That I can kind of I can change the wording around, but I can make a video about that. How do successful brands structure their YouTube channels to increase sales, right? So these are giving me great ideas. And then, of course, these are AI prompts, which this is new. This is something new. But then here, people also ask from Google. This is great. Content for YouTube to build my business. How to make $10,000 per month on YouTube without making videos. Huh, that people are actually asking that, right? What is the 30-second rule on YouTube? Yeah. Can you use 30 seconds of copyrighted video on YouTube? Oh, so this is interesting. So, I mean, this is all kinds of stuff that I can make videos about. It's giving me ideas. And then, of course, then I would categorize those videos into what kind of job is that video going to create, right? Is it going to be an awareness job? Is it going to be a trust job? Or is it going to be a conversion job? And then, I would just copy all these ideas into a spreadsheet and, and yeah, and then start building the videos, the scripts. Okay, so that's one method. Then let me get out of here. Let's stop sharing this for a second. We're going to come back over here and we're going to go to I've got so many things open on my screen. It's kind of amazing. Okay. So so then we get all these ideas and I think I need to share this again. But we want to share this window here. Share. Okay. Okay. So we've got all these ideas again. And then let's say I want to pick 3 video topics to present to John and say, hey, John, let's do these videos. And then I'm going to go through them and I'm going to, like, I like awareness videos first. Let's choose 2 awareness video and 1 conversion video, right? So then you just kind of look down the top 5 foundation myths Houston homeowners still believe. Okay, we did that. We did the 5 myths. I think we did the 5 myths. So let's go over here and we will search the channel for myths. And yeah, there it is. The 5 foundation repair myths. Okay. This video got 817 views, which that's great. I mean, that picked up some traction. And that's the whole idea of these awareness videos. This one, the $7 crack that cost $97,000, real foundation repair costs in Houston's. This is a conversion video, but I built it a lot like the title is more like an awareness, like it's a catchy, very, very clickable title. The $7 crack cost $97,000. So that one actually got 1,500 views, which is really great. So then we got the 5 minutes. So I got to come in here and discover, okay, what have we not done? The $30,000 crack, how the 2024 Houston drought broke thousands of foundations. Top 3 things to check after every Houston rainstorm. This is a good one. Top 3 things to check after every Houston rainstorm. I like that. That's a good one to do. Like, what do you need to check after a rainstorm? What freezes do to your? We just did this one. What freezes do to your foundation? That one was actually released right here 4 days ago. No, that one is going to get released this Saturday. We filmed it last week, right? So that's exciting. That one is going to get released this Saturday. But let's see. Why older homes are more stable than you think. That's a nice one. Maybe we'll do this one. The real reason Houston homes tilt after heavy rain. So just to make something short, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to choose 3 videos. And then I'm going to present them to John, and we're going to film them, right? So that's the process. Do you guys have any questions? Drop them in the chat. Let me know. I mean, I'm gonna come to us end pretty soon. Um, Definitely the 5 tools every foundation expert swears by. That's you know what I think that's a good video. I think I'm gonna do that video. And then of course, I'll just make a list. Like let's say copy, paste the 5 tools. We're gonna build some trust. I did like this one is good. Our foundation cracks normal or dangerous. That's a good one. So we're gonna do a trust. I want to do 2 awareness and 1 conversion. Um, do you need to move out during a foundation repair? Does foundation repair lower property value? We just filmed that one. Um, we did this one. Can you use translation? We did that one. The truth about cheap foundation companies. We kind of did that one. Um, you know, let's do this one. There we go. So now I built 3 videos that I want to film. Before you panic, call us. The free test that could save you thousands. That's like a free estimate, free inspection, free estimate that we do. Um, now, now that I've got them together, I'm going to create an outline for each one of these so that we can film them. Okay. And then while I'm creating that outline, I'm going to have that outcome that I want in mind so that, what do I want the viewer to experience? And I'm going to have that in mind as I'm creating the outline so that that happens, right? It's just like a filmmaker. When you watch a movie, they want you to be sad, and and if you don't become sad, if you don't become happy, if you don't become scared, then they failed at their job, right? So then I'll create an outline to try to create the outcome that we're looking for, and then we'll schedule it and post it. Let's see. Now let's stop share screen. I mean, I think that goes through the process pretty well. I think one day maybe we will go through, how I go through that outline, and then how we set up the cameras. I mean, all that's a lot of fun. Okay, so we've got 3 videos, and we're going to do awareness, trust, and conversion. So I kind of just showed you how I kind of went through it. This is something you can do every week. Every week, you prepare you or every other week. I mean, it depends. Like I just did 3 videos and we're releasing 1 video per week. So I'll film this. Then I've got 3 weeks of content. So I've got 3 weeks to actually come up with a new list. But I like to do this on a weekly basis where I sit down, I go through the ideas. If 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 you are in the same building as your sales staff, maybe once a week have a meeting with your sales staff and ask them, "Hey guys, what were the common questions that people asked you this week or last week when you were closing deals? What were the objections? What were their pain points?" And then write those down because those will become video ideas. Okay, guys. So let's wrap this up for today. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat, drop them in the comments. I am going to make a video for that workbook, and I will make that a downloadable workbook as well so that you can kind of see all this information is in that workbook about the jobs of each video that you're trying to create. And then remember, Content Guaranteed, that is my company. And this is what I do. I help businesses create a YouTube channel to help them grow their business, to support the sales staff, to support lead generation. If that's something that you're interested in, you'd like a free 30-minute strategy session, please go to my website, www.contentguaranteed.com, and just schedule it there. You can schedule it at your availability online right then and there. And if by some awful chance there is a conflict, I'll probably email you and say, "Hey, let's reschedule." But usually I've got that set up and blocked off so that you can schedule at your convenience. Again, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any other questions, drop them in the comments. And I look forward to see you next week on the next live stream.